Sergio Aragonés, Groo Friends and Foes from 2015, easily the best Groo in the last 20 years. Hi, I'm Darren, these are my hands, and this is GrooTube, where we appreciate the art of Sergio Aragonés, and man alive, is there a lot of Groo to appreciate in 2015's Friends and Foes, the maxi-series. I am torn. I have a particular comic that I want to look at right now, but as I see all of the covers in front of me, I'm thinking, I just want to take a look at all the covers with you today instead. I'm changing things up on the fly. What a crazy world we live in. This is going to work out all right. If you are not familiar with Sergio Aragonés' Friends and Foes from 2015, you really need to get yourself familiar with it. It's a fantastic series, 12 comics, each with a self-contained story in 12 months. It was like we were living in 1987 again. I really loved these one-off stories that came out in Friends and Foes. It was really neat because there was a thin storyline that stretched across all 12 issues, but really, each comic totally stands on its own too. All right, let's spend a few minutes taking a look at these 12 covers. Issue number 1, Captain Ahax. Something I'd like to point out: Aragonés, Evanier, Sakai, and Luth. Tom has done the colors for this issue, but he has not done the colors for all of the issues. And that's the first thing I want to point out. When you've got a drawing of sky and sea, there's bound to be a lot of blue. But Tom does a great job of differentiating the sky from the sea, and even the sea from itself. Dark in the background, a nice light bluey green through the middle, getting dark again at the bottom. Sergio's done a great job of balancing the cover from left to right. We've got Groo and Rufferto in this little rowboat out here, a little bit small and a little bit in the distance, looking towards Captain Ahax and his sinking ship in the foreground. Everybody's scrambling to stay afloat, except for the rats, and except for Groo and Rufferto. And look at Rufferto there. Sergio's drawn both Groo and Rufferto with minimal mouths, and he looks so cute, and he's so squat, chubby. I like him. Let's take a look at issue number 2. Ah, the Granny Groo cover. Look at all of the detail work that Sergio puts in, not only to the caravan wagons here, and wow, look at all the detail there. The carpets, the costumes of Granny's family here. I particularly love the vest that this guy's wearing here with, what are those, scorpions on it? Sergio always does a great job of drawing the patterns on fabrics and clothing that people wear. I really like this one in particular. Groo is saying, "Hi, Granny!" Granny's saying, "Oh no, everyone else is running away." Take a look at this little puppy up here, being yanked away by his owner. You've got Calm on the right side of the cover with the full moon and Groo and Rufferto, and Chaos on the left, and down here too. I will draw attention to this fourth name here, Aragonés, Evanier, Sakai, and Atiye. This is Michael Atiye. If we were to look inside, I think that we would see that Michael uses a slightly darker palette than Tom does. He's a little bit more heavy-handed with his gradients, with his shading. But take a look at this lamp hanging off the caravan wagon here. What a nice job of bringing the glow of that lamp out. Let's keep going. I'm going to put this one on this side here. Whoa. Here's issue 3, featuring Arba Dakarba, and Groo is sampling some of the witch's brew. Groo, don't do that, everyone seems to be saying. And even the steam that wafts up looks evil. It's always fun to look at Arba and Dakarba's lab, their castle, their lair, because they've always got such neat things on their shelves. We've got skeletons of strange creatures with fangs and horns. We've got weird bugs and other creatures being preserved in jars. If you don't look closely, you think it's just a cracked skull. But no, it's a bug there. And check out the fangs coming out of these skulls. These aren't just human skulls. These are strange creatures that the witches have. Again, Michael Atiyeh is responsible for the colors, not only on this cover, but of this comic. But Tom is back for issue number 4. Groo, Friends and Foes, Arcadio the Hero. When did he become Arcadio the Hero? He's just Arcadio. Calling him a hero is giving him credit where he does not deserve it. A giant dragon on the cover with so much detail in scales and in these strange polypy. They're not hairs, they're not scales, they're dangly bits hanging off the top and the bottom of the dragon. Check out his beard down here. Fantastic work by Sergio. Sergio Groo, ready to face adversity and danger, not seeing the dragon behind them. Rufferto? Uh-oh! He's got that surprised look on his face. Lots of fun. Lots of empty space here, too. Not a lot of the detail that we saw in the previous 3 covers. Let's see what we have for cover number 4. Well, it is Grooella, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. Many, many, many soldiers at Grooella's back. She's saying, "Come on, boys, it's time to attack my brother Groo." Again, I like how Sergio uses the bottom third quarter of the cover, allowing his main characters to stand on a relatively plain background, and then just shoving those soldiers up and to the back, giving that claustrophobic, insurmountable odds. There's just so many soldiers up here coming to bear against Groo. And the way that he does that through the detail up on the top versus some of the sparsity at the bottom. Michael Atiyeh is doing the coloring as well. He's letting the brighter, simpler colors shine at the bottom, and then he's kind of letting them mute even as they go into the back. Some really nice work. I got trained on the epic run of comics, so it doesn't matter that I know that there's no secret message hidden on the cover. When I see all that intricate work in the guard's armor, I have to look and see, are there letters hidden there? Is there a message hidden anywhere along here? Always get a chuckle at Grooella's scepter with her own little, would that be called an effigy on it? Number 6, The Sage. Mulch and Rufferto are sharing a smile, a knowing smile perhaps, with each other. Groo is just happy to be with his friend the Sage, and the Sage, maybe he doesn't realize that Groo is behind him yet. As the crowds run away, he looks a little bit puzzled. Sergio could have added a lot more chaos to this cover, but he determines that it was best to suggest the chaos and not fill up the background with everything, like he did here on issue number 5. Maybe that's because his buddy Tom Luth is back, and he was thinking, I'm going to give Tom a little bit of a break on the cover, so he doesn't have to color in a million people fleeing from Groo. Who knows? Chakaal. On cover number 7 of Groo, Friends and Foes, Chakaal is seated on a throne of sorts. Groo is peering in from behind the curtain, wondering what is going on with Chakaal here, and we will have to turn inside this comic to find out why she is sitting on a throne. This is something that might actually look really nice as a poster. Tom is coloring, and things look great. Issue number 8, Weaver and Scribe. Michael Atiyeh is back for coloring, and Groo is bringing down destruction, even as Weaver dictates to Scribe. Rufferto sees what's going on. He's looking up at the top and sees this building coming crashing down, but Groo is unaware, Weaver is unaware, Scribe is unaware. This little pigeon's aware. Look out. Issue number 9, Pal and Drumm come to visit Groo. Again, this is such a great maxi-mini-series. This was such a great year. Every comic, you had a different story with a different friend that you know from the Groo universe. I love the fact that all of these stories are standalone, yet there's that thread that goes through them all. You knew that the small central story was going to be advanced a little bit each month, but you also knew that you were going to be surprised with who was going to show up and with what kind of adventure Groo was going to have. Wow, I love this. I understand. It's a grind churning out brand new stories every month, writing and drawing something new. I understand why Sergio might not want to do that every month. When he spent the year doing this, wow, that was such a treat for us. I don't know that we'll ever get it again. Man, it was good when it was happening. So here we are, issue number 9, Palindrome. Michael Atiyeh is coloring this cover again. And when I look at it, like I take a look at Drumm's arms here, I think that I can see that his coloring style is different than Tom Luth's. The difference between the light and the dark shade in the skin tone here is a greater difference than what Tom would use. Even the abrupt change, I know it's not an abrupt change, it's a gradient, but the change in the gradient is a little bit sharper than perhaps what Tom would use. I don't know if that's really what's going on, but when I look at this, I can say, yeah, that's not how Tom colors. It seems more pronounced, Michael Atiyeh's shading, than Tom Luth's. But look at Drumm. He's happy, he's got wide eyes, he's got the small, tiny little childlike smile. It's very laughable. You look at him and he's a funny looking guy. Did I call him Pal earlier? Sergio's use of this wall back here just to give some separation between the foreground action in the Colosseum and the crowd is great. You get a wall with less detail. There's less to color there. So you've got these foreground characters on their own background. You've got to love Drumm's armor and the intricacy. He's got to draw that on every panel. I'm not trying to make good pile, bad pile, but I think my favorite ones are going on this pile here. Issue number 10, Taranto is on the scene. This is a little bit of a different drawing of Groo here. It's a little bit less bold and cartoony in his lines, in particular Groo's face and his eyes, with that squint looking back at Taranto with the angry eyebrows coming down there. I like the variety that Sergio brings into this. I'm glad to see that our short tattooed friend is on the cover. I just seem to be drawn to following this guy. There's perhaps one of the Cantor soldiers in Taranto's gang as well. They think they've got Groo surrounded, but Groo and Rufferto know differently. Tom Luth is back for coloring again. Take a look at Groo's arms. Just do a quick little side-by-side. But look at the bottom part of Drumm's arm here and how the gradient comes to the top of his bicep there. Is that his bicep? That's his forearm. And then take a look at the shading, the gradient on Groo's arm there. It's much more subtle here, isn't it? I think that's Tom Luth's style. Good cover. I guess it goes in the I like this cover pile. Tom Luth is still coloring on issue number 11. The Minstrel's playing, having a good time. Rufferto's chewing on somebody's arm, having a good time. You know that Groo is having a good time. Look at that smile, and his eyes are closed in delight. He's slaying. What is the significance of this stampede of, I don't know, is that some sort of horse antelope creature? I don't know. A little bit on the busy side. Like you can see Groo here, you can see the Minstrel here, you can see Rufferto here, but Sergio and Tom are not using any of their tried and true techniques to make these three main characters stand out from the crowd. It is just a scene of chaos, and man, look at the detail around the shield here. Oh, should I be reading for any secret messages in there? My eye is just drawn to this stuff, and I need to look at it to say, oh, are there like creatures hidden there? Are there bugs hidden there? What has Sergio done there? Does he want me to take a closer look, inspect it, and find some things hidden in there? So many times you do look in and you find stuff, so you've got to do it all the time, or at least I find I need to. And then number 12, the last cover in the Friends and Foes series, and it features this little girl named Kayli. If you haven't read the series yet, you don't know who Kayli is. So why does she feature on the cover? Well, this is a minor spoiler, a new friend that Groo has made, and she is kind of the character who ties all of these individual comics together. But it's really nice, this cover, because all the other Friends and Foes from the previous 11 comics are on the cover with Groo and Rufferto and Kayli. Nice cover. Tom is back color in this one. So if you didn't know what was going on with Kayli and you came into your comic book store and you saw this cover, there's no way you'd miss the fact that there's this new character, little girl, on the front. Gotta pick up the comic, gotta get the back issues for this series too. And as much as I love all the characters on this cover, I'm going to put it over here onto this pile. Seeing as I'm making this video up as I go, let's do something else. We'll put these ones over here for a moment. And how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are these my top 6 covers from Friends and Foes? All right, let's see. Is this good or great? It is good. Is this good or great? Oh, this might be great. Definitely great. I'm not sure if this is good or great. I think this is only good. I think if I'm going to have to split it into 3 and 3, I'm going to do that. Oh, look at this. I am ranking things. My 3 favorite covers from Sergio Aragonés' Friends and Foes. I think I'm going to do it like this. Most favorite, second favorite, third favorite. There you go. What do you think about these covers from Sergio Aragonés' Friends and Foes? What did you think of the series? Did you like going back to a month after month individual story type thing? Please let me know in the comments. And I think next time when I'm back, we're going to take a closer look at Friends and Foes Granny Groo. Well, Groo friends, thanks for being with me again for another video. Please make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on because I don't want you to miss out when I'm back again next time with another Groo Tube. Take care, everybody.